Hi there, my name is Leonard Parker and I'm the owner of Destiny Marketing Solutions. In this video, I'm going to go over the Google My Business profile and how you can better use it to get more restoration jobs through your online presence. Now, just a heads up, if you don't have a Google My Business profile and if you're not sure what that is, if you just Google your business name, it's this little panel here on the right hand side. If you don't have a profile like this, you definitely should get one because it's a very important aspect of your local marketing online. So you would just go to business.google.com, and don't worry, I'll leave the link here in the video description. You're pretty much going to fill out all of your business information, and typically Google is going to mail you physical mail you a postcard with a 6-digit code that you use to verify your business. So once you get that postcard, you're going to log back into business.google.com, put in that 6-digit code, and you should be good to go. Now, sometimes you might require additional documents. Unfortunately, the restoration industry is one of the industries that has been spammed to death with the Google My Business, or you might even be able to do a phone verification. But whatever the case, make sure that you get a Google My Business profile. Now, a few things, and this is really for those business owners who may not have a physical office for their restoration company. Let's say you're pretty much working out of your home and you're just traveling to your different job sites. In that case, don't use a P.O. box. In fact, you can't use one with Google. You don't I would suggest not getting a office space like at a Regis because those used to work. They don't work nearly as well for verification anymore. But instead, just use your home address, but make sure that you hide your address. There's an option to hide your address where you don't have a creep coming up at your front door at 2 a.m. And just make sure that you set your targeting areas so that you're targeting the right areas that you actually provide services. Now, with that out the way, the rest of this video, I'm just going to take a deep dive into Google My Business and how you as a business owner of a damage restoration business can better use it to get more visibility online. Now, again, you're going to go to business.google.com. Make sure that you're logged in under the email that's linked to your Google My Business profile. And I'll just go down the line here. So the first thing, and this is a somewhat new feature, post. So these are Google's answers to Facebook as far as being able to post different things about your business. So pretty straightforward how it works. You just click add update. I always recommend putting some type of picture or video. It just makes it stand out a little bit more. And then here you'll actually write your post. And then you'll select the call to action button. So usually it's going to be learn more or call us, depending on the nature of the post. Now in this post, I recommend that you try to definitely link back to your website or whatever you're using to leads. I also recommend that you include some of your target keywords. So let's say if you're a mold remediation expert in Atlanta, make sure you try to include Atlanta mold remediation expert in your post. And you don't want to overdo it, so maybe just 1 or 2 phrases per post, and then you want to switch it up with each post. But these posts, they stay up for 7 days, and then after the 7 days, they're no longer visible. So just so you can see how this will look on the front end, let's see here. So if I just type in my company name, so you'll see here towards the bottom, this is the post that we were just looking at. And again, if a person is looking for a particular phrase or service that's included in your post, what would happen is that it will be bolded, but also if they're on a mobile device, this post will actually take up the entire front or top of the screen in a search result. So that's why it's very important that you incorporate this into your Google My Business strategy, and it's just once a week. So not too much of an hassle. Now, if you do have extra time on your hands, or if there's someone on your team that's managing this for you, go for 3 or 4 times a week. The more, the better. Now, other than a regular post, you can also do an offer. So maybe you're offering some type of discount on certain types of jobs. You can include that offer here, and just as with the regular post, it will be posted here. So I'm not sure why it's not letting me click. There it goes. Yeah. So you put the offer title and then the timeline for that offer. And then the last part here, event. So we're coming up on the holidays here. And let's say that you're doing, for your community, you're doing a local toy drive or a local turkey drive. You're sponsoring it, or maybe just even hosting it at your office. Then in that case, you can promote it. So you'll the picture or whatever, maybe the flyer that you're using, the name of the event, and then again the start date and the end date. And that's a great way to promote your events too, if you're doing anything in the community. Now, exiting out of that, going over to info. I'm not sure why my computer here is going so slow. Let me try exiting out some windows. It's the weekend, so maybe my computer is taking a break. So some of this other stuff. Let's try doing a refresh. Okay. So your information tab, this is probably the biggest part of, or one of the most important parts of your profile. But you want to make sure that your business name is correct. You want to make sure that you're modifying the different business categories, that these are correct. So relatively recently, Google now allows you to specify one primary category. So let's just say maybe you offer a different range of restoration services, but your big money driver is water damage restoration. You can put that as your primary category. And then for your additional categories, you can do fire damage restoration. You can do, maybe if you do anything with roofs, you can put roofing repair or mold remediation. Those are all other categories. But those are different. Make sure that that's filled out and that it's correct. And in the video description, I will share a list of all of the possible categories you can pick, and just take a look at that and use whatever is relevant for your restoration business. Scrolling down here a bit more. So most restoration companies, you're going to be traveling out to I would think all of them, you're going to be traveling out to your different job sites. So instead of having a physical address listed, what you want to do is include all of the target areas that are in your service area. So if you're in a larger city, that could be a long list here, like we see how I have my profile set up. But let's say you do adjoining counties, you want to select those counties, so that makes sure that you get visibility for all of those places. Now, one disclaimer here is that, let's just say I'm in Houston. In Houston, if you've never been, it's a very large city. It's as far as landmass. Let's say if I'm located in the west part of town, well, I can put some of the eastern Houston areas here. The western areas are where I'm going to get the most visibility, because again, that's where I am in proximity to. So just keep that in mind, that even if you can't select other areas, if your city or town is very competitive, you're still going to get most of your visibility wherever your physical location is actually placed. So something to keep in mind. Your hours of operations, just make sure those are accurate. If you don't actually have someone answering the phone 24/7, don't put that, because it can create a bad experience for the prospective customer. And then if you are taking any days, so again, coming up on the holidays, if no one's going to be in the office on Christmas, for example, then make sure that you put that you're going to be closed. And then, of course, you can also put your contact information. And then you have your business website. So that's a free site that's provided by Google, which we'll go over here in a bit. And then you can even add a short name. So just, if you're United Restoration of Houston, United Restoration Houston, that could be your short name. And then, your services, your products. Not sure, you may not really need that section, but of course your services, which we'll get into a bit. Highlights for your business. So maybe the owner is a veteran, or someone on the leadership is a veteran, or if you're the owner is a woman, you can definitely highlight that, and that could be a deal breaker for someone who's looking for a restoration services provider. And then finally, you have your business description. And this is also very important. Make sure you you get 750 characters. So try to use as much as that as you can, because more text, that gives you more opportunities to incorporate some of your target keywords and really be more detailed about your business and what sets you apart from other restoration providers in your area. And then here you put in your open date, and then also your add photos. You can add photos of your office if you have one. Your team members is always an important one to include. Your trucks or vans, that's always important. And for the restoration industry, you obviously want to put some before and after pictures so that people can actually see the work that you're doing in your industry. So one expert tip: if you're ever in here, let's say you already have a Google My Business listing and you're in here making edits, I recommend never making edits from a owner account. So if you don't know what I mean by that, if you go to users, you can see which accounts are owners and which ones are managers, or other other access rights. So always try to make edits from your manager account. I'm not sure why exactly, but sometimes when you're making edits with your owner account, it can put your profile at risk to be suspended, meaning you're no longer going to show up in the map pack if you're there, or even if someone Googles your business name, your Google My Business panel isn't going to show up on the right-hand side there. So always try to, if you don't have a manager account, just create a manager account with a different email or one of your team members' emails, and make edits from that account. Because one thing Google is not known for is their responsiveness to those types of issues, even if your profile is suspended for no reason. So make sure you take that precaution. Insights, I'm not going to talk too much about this, but pretty much data about your website. So one of the things I find is you can see which queries people are using. So it can be a great way to get some insight on the different phrases and new keywords that you could be going after. Reviews. So this is pretty important, but obviously this is led by your customers. So hopefully you're getting 4 or 5-star reviews. Never go out and buy reviews. That's a no-no, because that can put your profile at risk for being suspended. So just, once you finish a job, have a process where you follow up with your customer, even right there once the job is complete, or even do an email, and making sure that you are taking the initiative to get those reviews, because they do matter in the ranking algorithm. And obviously, if someone sees a good review for your business, overall review rating for your business, that's going to drive them to be more likely to call you. And then one more thing on the reviews, you always want to make sure that you reply to them, because that's a great way, again, to show that you're responsive to your customers, even though the job is complete, that you're still responsive. And also, it just shows that you care about your customer satisfaction. And in those review responses, make sure that you're trying to incorporate your different keywords and key phrases that you're going after. Just make sure that they fit into context. Now, your services tab, and this is another important one. So just make sure that you list all of your services here. And let's say you might not have the same price for every job, because no two jobs are different. In that case, make sure that you include maybe your starting price, and then just make a mention that your prices start at that starter price per month or per job, whatever the case may be. Now, moving on to website. Again, this is a free website that Google gives you with your Google My Business profile. So you just want to make sure that first that it's published, because it's not published by default. And pretty much this is going to be pre-populated with the information that you include in the other sections here in the back end. So not much you have to do there, but you just want to go in here and edit. So you might want to, let's say you have a special page where you schedule appointments, or have your website visitors schedule appointments. Make sure you include the link to that page there. You have the title, the headline for the one-page website. Make sure that's accurate. Make sure your description is accurate, and then this is, again, kind of your description of your business. So great place to target keywords and really sell your business and what makes your restoration company different from other restoration service providers in your area. And then finally, users. So let's say you need to add someone new to the team to be able to manage this profile. Just go here, invite new users, and just put in their email address. So usually you want to use their Gmail address, because again, this is a Google property, so other emails might not work as well. But as I mentioned before, you want to try to at least have one manager account to make edits, but you can also do site manager as well. So that brings me to the end of the video. If you have found this video helpful or useful, make sure to click the subscribe button, as I'll be releasing videos on a regular basis that go into some different digital marketing tactics that you can use to really improve the online visibility for your restoration company. And also included several helpful links to kind of dig a little bit deeper into some of the things that I've talked about in this video. But thanks again for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Take care.